Still want to build up my goblin or Gitz army a bit more. I'm going with some squigs this time. I've already got squigs. I've got the original white metal ones, and I've got some fine cast ones, which are all built and painted. I'll show you those later on. But this is the latest version, just the regular plastic version, looking a bit more animated than the originals. So yeah, looking forward to doing this. As you will see later on in this video, I'm not doing them red. I find that incredibly boring that every squig in existence is red. That's just dull. I like the old days when they first came out and they were a whole ton of different colours, and that's what I'm going to be doing with these. All right, so that's the instruction booklet. Let me just open this. So I haven't gone through this at all, but looks like you've got lots of different options. All right, don't know how many just yet. What I do like is this. I noticed this on the back. Look at that. I don't know if this is in the book, but I haven't got the book yet. I'm building an army, but I haven't got the book. That comes at the end when I'm ready to, when the shops are back open and I can actually go and play a game. But that is fabulous. That is really, really nice. I might cut that out and frame that. That is really nice. So back of the box shows that there are fellas I recognise. I've already got the symbol player, although he looks a bit different. I'll do a compare and contrast later on. This one looks a lot of fun. I'll be doing him. This one looks a lot of fun. Don't know if that's the same mushroom. It is, isn't it? It's the same fella. It's just one side and the other. So that's that. I'm not doing him. That's just too silly. I don't know about this snail squig either. That might be a bit too silly. Recognise this fella. I've got the original version of him as well. And then yeah, bits wise, faces. 3 sprues. There's the symbol there. I don't know, they look a bit bigger than the originals. I'll come back. Second part of this will be once I've cut things out and glued things together. But I don't know, they look bigger. I've got the squig hoppers, the squig riders, and yeah, they're about this size. But I've never compared them with the regular squig. Yeah, I'll cut things out, I'll glue things together, and I'll come back with them assembled alongside their originals. Well, I've been busy, pretty busy, as you can see. So 10 legs and tails, some of them in pretty, bog standard poses, some more animated. That one leaping off of that nice pack of fungus, others with little mushroom leaping off points. So yeah, 10 of those and 10 heads. And this is what's taken quite a while. I know, Games Workshop have to produce models, and there's got to be a bit of a building challenge. A lot of people, they like building the models, don't necessarily want to paint them or enjoy painting them. So you have to put in building tasks. But I don't know, in some cases, it's a lot of faffing. One of these figures like him, it's 3 parts. It's the front of his head, it's the back of his head, and it's the horn. Others, it's just the 2, like that fella there. Quite like that one with the dribble coming off of him. But some just seem unnecessarily complicated. I know it's to give you something to do, a building challenge, but a lot of the times I'm kind of like bored with that. I want to crack on and build the model, paint the model. So 9 heads, 10 bodies, 9 heads. I think my favourite is that one, because there we go. He is giving me serious echoes of that troll, and he's my favourite of the river trolls. So I'm thinking about maybe colour-wise, I've lost him. I'm going to do him, this squig, in the same colours as him, as an inference that they're, you know, relatives, maybe. I say 10 bodies, 9 heads. The 10th head, I don't like it. It's that one I've just said in the last video. The squig that's got a goblin peering out through his mouth, and it's just like, it's too silly. So what I've done is, I've done this, which is the missing head I've replaced, come on, focus. I've replaced with a spare face that I had from my squig hoppers. So I've stuck him on the front, milli putted the join, and I've given him a little hat as well, just to make him a bit more distinctive. I've given him a mushroom hat. So he's my 10th one. Bit of a bigger head than the others, but I don't mind that. So that's that. Let's move them out the way. I didn't realise, I thought you got 4 goblins. It's not too clear on the packaging that you have only 2, but with 2 options, and the packaging shows you the 4 options. So I don't know whether I'm being dumb or they're being a bit sneaky, but it looks like you get 4 herders. You don't. You just get 2 bodies with optional parts. So I've gone with this one, and I really do like his armour, and I really do like his face, and I really do like the mushrooms coming out of his back, and I like the mushroom lure that he's got. Right, I could have done him that way, or I could have done him with a prodder, but I've already got some of those from my original squig herd, so that's like a distant cousin of that one. All right, and then the other one, I mean, whichever one I was going to do, you've got 2 options. Again, same body, then 2 options. You've either got the one blowing the fungus bagpipes or the cymbals, and I've already got the cymbals one, and I've already got the original bagpipes one, but I thought I would go with this one, just so when it's done I can compare and contrast him, oh, he's not going to play ball, with, this is my original one, just there like that, you see. Again, distant cousins or distant relatives. That's the original. That's the up-to-date version. And I'm looking forward to painting them and having them alongside each other. So that's where we are right now. Oh, the other thing is, while I was having a rummage round, I've found some of my original squig hoppers that are in serious need of some repair. This one, his arm's gone, so I've got to try and repair that. That's a very wonky eye. I'm going to try and repair that. This is the fail cast, that's why they've snapped. This one's even worse. He's missing not only an arm but a foot. I mean, how fragile has it got to be that your foot snaps off? And he's still got one of those original Slaughter bases, 1995. So yeah, I've got to change his base, find a new foot for him and a new arm. So I'm going to come back, I think, when I'm all primed up and ready to talk colour choices. So that's been good fun, just matching up what head I want with what body. Yeah, just mix and matching them till I was happy with them. So here we all are in white primer. So I'm looking forward to starting to paint. And yeah, painting wise, I'm going to do things similar to what I've done with my squig hoppers before. Some of them I've done a wee bit fleshy, like that fella. Some a bit more vibrant colours, like that one. Some a bit more radical again, like him. And changing the eye colours as well. I'm not doing my usual turquoise for the eyes. Yeah, quite like that one. The orange and the yellow. So I might be going that route on some of them. And yeah, there's one of my original metal squigs, and I quite like the idea of doing some mottling. Some of these are quite bare, they haven't got horns on or anything like that, so I might be going mottling on some of them. And the other thing before I crack on, this fella, I managed to find a replacement arm. They're not meant to be have weapons really, these original versions. These ones do, but these originals didn't. But that's fine, I'm happy with that. So just got to paint that. Won't be able to put any primer on it, so hopefully the paint will stick to the bare plastic. And this fella was missing an arm and a foot. I've actually put an arm holding a shield on there. There's no foot, but I might put a little blob of milliput in there, because then I don't have to sculpt too much, because you don't see too much. So that's where we are right now, and I will come back with the chosen base coats on. All right, well, I'm nearly done on all the skin tones, and I've just started basing their mouths. So we have a nod to how they are these days, a pure red one, but contrasting bones colours will be on the top. And this one is a nod back to one of the other two that I'm repairing, red body, black face, which our son came up with all those years ago. So it's a little tribute to those ones. Ooh, and I've still got the quite vivid green that squig hopper was in, so he's like kid brother of that one. And this is that contrasting paint that I used on the crystals on the rock trolls. So that's just one coat of the contrasting. It's sort of all right. I'm not going to bother highlighting. That's the whole point of contrasting paints. But I'm going to pick out the boils and that in a different colour. Do love his teeth. This fella, he's just a flesh tony one, and I love that face. I love that big eye. I like the fact that he's lost some teeth. All right. This one is staying like a whitey colour, like so. There's going to be a contrast in his drool. And we've got a variation on a green yellow that I've got from one of the old original squigs, just there. And then I've got same sort of thing, but green whitish colour, just there. This is that converted one, so his head's a lot bigger than the others, with his little mushroom hat. He's just orange. And then the lastly, yeah, I've done that one. This fella is the one that's got the most colour on it, because as I say, because he's got that little guide light, he's very reminiscent of that river troll. So I'm actually applying more colours as a reference to that river troll, so they are related in some way as well. So all of them, I've done the base coat of the gums and mouth areas. I've got to start reddening things up now. All right, nearly there, so let's go through them one by one. So I've done the mouth areas now, and I've done the toes. Some of the teeth are whiter than others. I'm just colouring the teeth according to what's going on skin wise. So that's that little fella. This one I've kept the teeth quite white because I really want it to be noticeable that he's missing a couple. Just there. There, quite white because they're quite small. these more shading because they're pretty darn big. Whiter. I think I'll put another colour on that one. Very white because there's hardly any of them. Ooh. More shading on these because they're big. These are difficult because his skin tone is not far off, so more yellow. Got to do his tongue still. Keep meaning to do that. This fella, like so. And then I quite like those ones. They're really good. I like the colour compared to the turquoise there. And then I'm working on the robes of the two fellas, and I'm starting to wash and build up the greens of the skin. Not much on this one. I'm having him nice and rusty, his armour there. All right, so just got to finish off basically the mouths. The eyes, I've got to decide. I'm not going to go my usual, light blue, turquoisey blue that I usually do for squigs. I'm going to just have a contrasting colour. So like these will be the turquoisey blue, but obviously you put that on them, on him, you're not going to see it. These are going to be more yellow, I think. So I've got to do that. I've got to do the mushrooms, and I've got to base them. So I think I'll come back when I'm done. And that's them done. So just to give you a quick look at each of them, assuming I can keep them in focus. That's the one with the contrast paint, which I'm quite pleased with, and I'll be looking into using those again, I think. Using up my far too fluorescent green on that fella. This is the one with the squig hopper head, because I didn't like the head with him swallowing a goblin. Quite pleased with the turquoise eyes contrasting with the orange there. A green and yellow, like so. Green and white, like so. A little like Rottweiler one there, like that. He's quite cute. Drooling one, giving him like horrible manky goo. What else we got? Oh yeah, this fella, I think I said before, red body, black face was our son's choice of colour scheme for the squigs, good 10 years ago or whatever. So so I've recreated one there, and also you might recall I had to repair a couple, and that's the red with black face. So he's one of these kins. So yeah, come on, focus. Shield in place, covering up the fact that not only was he missing an arm, but he's missing a foot. So that's him. And then again, black face, red body, and I've replaced him with an arm just there like that. So that's cool. What else we got? This one I think is my favourite, because I like the fact that, come on, yeah, he's got one bulging eye, and I've actually put a pupil in there just to sell it a little bit more, and he's missing some teeth. So I think he's my favourite. All right, and then the last of the squigs is that fella who has the most colour. He's got this yellowy colour, he's got some green on there, he's got some red on there, and that's because he's like a small cousin of this troll from before, with the little pilot light in front of his mouth. Well, that fella's got exactly the same. So yeah, they're distant cousins. And then I've got, this fella is finished with his mushroom bagpipe. And just to give you a compare and contrast, that's the original one that I had. So there he is marching along, blowing his bagpipe. There's the most up-to-date modern one, far more elaborate stacks on his. And then finally there's this one. Very pleased how he came out. This little herder, just like that. And yeah, the original herder, kind of basic compared to one of them. All right, and that's us pretty much done. So very pleased with these. I enjoy, as I said, after doing so many years of nurgle and nastiness, which is good fun. I enjoy doing it, but it's quite refreshing to do colourful colour schemes. And with that in mind, last weekend was Father's Day, and I was asked what would I like. So I'm continuing the colourful scheme again. I'm not doing the bog standard red because it's boring. I've already got some of these, but the reason I asked for them is you've got two options. You've got these, which are the goblins, you know, just with basic clubs and blades, but then you've got these Boing Rock Bounders who are more like jousters. They've got jousting sticks and they've got armour and everything. So look to my next video, which will be coming out. Well, again, it will be like one of these. Once I'm done, I'll be posting it. So it might take a while, but yeah, the Squig story continues with these fellas.